Hey guys, it is Tristan with NewsStand, and I want to talk a little bit about this Jim Steranko controversy that's going around all over a simple tweet. Mind you, I don't think Jim has ever really held back on what he says, nor do I think he should, because nobody else in his profession, in the comic book profession, ever does. But let's be real. Jim Steranko is the man that slapped Bob Kane. He literally slapped him across the face for what he did to Bill Finger and what he did to him. But mostly what he did to Bill Finger. How he stole money, so much money, stole so much time. How long it took to actually give Bill Finger his due on Batman. Bob Kane is not a good person. But then again, a lot of people in the comic book industry are not, and you will see what I mean. Now, I was listening to Comics by Purge, and I think most comic book channels at one point or another utter that line on their channel. It's just kind of become a normal thing. He does really great video, but in the nicest way possible. And I like his channel a lot. He has a very nuanced take to everything. He is very centrist. Like, he is so centrist that it hurts. And that's okay. I like it a lot. I listen to left-leaning channels. I listen to right-leaning channels. I listen to people like him. I think it's good to get a wide variety before you actually make up your own mind. Well, before we go into that, let me read you what he said and what is causing this ruckus, I guess is the best way to put it. The Chinese pandemic has stolen a year of our lives. I've felt it as much as anyone. Those who know me and have hung out with me at shows know the importance I lay on personal appearance and connecting at gigs with fans from every corner of the USA. We'll be ready when you are. Now, I do know that Jim likes to go to cons and meet people and interact and talk, and I put a video on my community post. He's a very charismatic person, but he's also somebody that's never held back his belief system or what he actually leans which side politically, and that's okay. If you think about it, the fact that the comic book industry is so upset over this view is ridiculous if they're not upset over the other side. For years, and I mean years, I have listened to people like Scott Snyder or Tom Taylor talk about left-leaning politics, and I still buy their books because I can disagree with people and still enjoy their artistry. I can still enjoy what they make without agreeing with people. Kind of old-fashioned, right? Because nowadays, if you say something like that, it is really taken out of sorts, and that's exactly what happened to Jim Steranko, because he said Chinese pandemic. Now, there's nothing racist inherently about that. Of course, knowing that you're saying that is going to cause a little ruckus, yeah, probably, but you still have the right to say it, right? Saying it came from China doesn't make it inherently racist, as long as you don't, use hyperbole to actually blame those people, because you can't do that. Now, I will share a little bit of a story that is similar in nature. When I was 14 maybe, I had a friend, and it was shortly after 9/11. Different circumstances, talking still about a different country. And her name was Fatima. I lived in an area that was primarily Muslim, and she was amazing. But you had those people that targeted them after the 9/11 attack. And it was Halloween, and we were walking down the road, and we were just having fun. And some guys in the back of a truck threw some pumpkins at us and said, "Go back to your country." Like, I was born here. So was she. Not a big deal, but it happens. So I get why people, in a way, blame this and say, yes, by doing stuff like this, by saying Chinese, you are going to drive that into people's mind, and they're going to see anyone that is Asian and simply look at them and go, hey, that is, that person doesn't belong here. And that's on them. That's not on Jim Steranko. That's not on anybody that talks that way. And the funny thing is this isn't something new with Jim Steranko. And I agree with a lot of his politics, but why are you mad now? Like months ago, he talked about how a lot of things were blamed on Biden and company. And I apologize, my cats are fighting in the background, but, it's okay. I put up with your politics. You should put up with his. But instead, we have pansies like, I guess I shouldn't have said pansies because I do have a lot of respect for some of these people. But some of it, seeing it, hearing it, is really unfortunate because you don't attack another creator. There is something called professional courtesy, right? I think that's still around. I'm not sure, but you have people like Greg Pak. Greg Pak is well known. Mr. Steranko, I'm trying to put these words politely. Are you trying to be demeaning? He said, avoid using terms like Chinese pandemic to make the country, safer. All right, Frank Cho, both, Frank Cho, come on, dude. Like, really? Anyways, both of my parents are in the hospital with COVID. The last thing I need is to hear more xenophobic Republican lies from a narcissistic, hateful egomaniac, Frank Cho, who pissed in your Cheerios. That seems like a really, really exaggerated way to say, hey, dude, not cool. Like, honestly, like, what? What's xenophobic? He said it came from China. Guess what? It came from China. There's nothing wrong with that. Can you imagine if we as Americans had started this? Can you imagine the backlash that China would be against us? Every single solitary country would hold us responsible. But because people are afraid of China and the CCP, they're not being held to task. And like I said in the beginning, not every single person should be held to task. That's ridiculous. But I'm talking about places in Wuhan that hid information. Oh, I'm so sure I'm going to have one of those little Warner things that tell you my views are completely wrong and everything at the bottom. But it's really unfortunate. And you see, it would have been nothing. And Perch goes over it a little bit better, but somebody kept tagging everybody in it. And I think it's funny they're tagging people like Jim Lee, who is not Chinese in it. Isn't that more racist than the original post? Not that the original post was racist. I'm just saying, you look at Jim Lee and you're like, he must be Chinese, right? No, he's not. I find this funny. We are getting to a dangerous point in our society where you cannot have an opinion at all. I mean, like, I get it. You're a hot dog vendor. Sell your fucking hot dogs and shut up. But Jim Steranko, he doesn't have to shut up. He gave more to this industry than most. And it's hilarious to see people like Kwanzaa going at him and he calls him Stanko. Like, dude, he was the inspiration for Mr. Miracle. He was an escape artist before his career in comics started. Jack Kirby was like, hey, that's pretty fucking cool, and made Mr. Miracle. Like, you will never put into comics what this man has. You will never put into Marvel what he did after Jack Kirby went to DC. You will never do or make something like his 4-page spreads. Did you work on Indiana Jones, Kwanzaa? Like, you're grasping at straws. And at this point, I'm not surprised anymore. I'm not surprised that these people don't care. They don't care about comics. That's the sad part. The people still working in comics make mediocre. Okay, well, some of them did. Chip Zdarsky did a great book this week, and there was some others, but you have to care more about the art form because some of us still do. You have to care more about making a good, coherent story that will buy. Because some of us are still interested. You have to. care more about it than you care about social media. And that's the problem. They don't. They care more about canceling their fellow person. Guess what? Like I said earlier, Jim Steranko has more fuck you money than you'll ever have. That's the sad part. But you know what? Let them go on Twitter. Best word of advice, don't go on Twitter. Problem solved, guys. I say that all the time, but nobody seems to listen. Anyways, if you want something interesting to look at, check out Jim Steranko's History of Comics. I believe there's 2 volumes. Fucking fantastic. Amazing. He does such great work, and yes, he will always go down in history as an amazing artist and what he did, with Nick Fury and Agents of the Shield. But he also knows his shit. He's a very intelligent man, and he knows what he's talking about. Do you? Not talking to you guys, talking about to these creators that attack him. Do ya? I'm not sure that you do. My guess is on no. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. Literal non-controversy. Not an issue. Not a big deal. We have different opinions, and that's okay. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskart, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.